Hi guys, my name's Laura and you're here today with Life Energy Movement with me, and welcome to my channel. Today I thought I'd share some personal experiences with you over the last couple of days and a few practice methods I've been discovering and wanting to put into place as I move along. So you'll find my channel's a whole bunch of different things. I'm pretty much sharing my life with you, so not so much through vlogs but through just sharing my experiences with you in more of a conversational context. So the last couple of days I went down to my parents' house. So they live in Gippsland, in the Gippsland Lakes, specifically Raymond Island, and it is actually an island and you have to get there via a ferry. Now it sounds all real fancy, but it can actually take a bit of time to cross over the water to get home and then to come back again if you want to go shopping or do any grocery shopping or things like that on the other side. So it is a beautiful area. It's quite rural as well, so it's basically where the bush meets the water. So they are right on the water, and there's so much wildlife there as well. So it gave me a chance to disconnect from the chaos that is around Melbourne and the outer city suburbs of Melbourne, which is pretty much where I'm living. And yeah, just disconnecting as well from my everyday routine. So I found that to be really quite effective, even though I was only really down there for like a full 24 hours. So I took a day to travel there, a whole day the following day, and then today I traveled back. So in that time I decided to download a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of self-help sort of things, a lot of videos with the context of consciousness and your higher purpose and things like that. So the other day, just before I left to go on my trip, I went to a bookshop down in Brighton. I happened to be in the area and I'd gone past this bookshop a few times and I was drawn to the shop and I was like, I'm gonna go back there, I'm gonna go in there and have a look. So I went in there and had a look around, and I've always said that I'm not really much of a book person, but I've always been a big self-help person. So when it does come to reading books and things like that, or material, I do like to indulge in self-help quite a bit. So it goes along with my spirituality and all that stuff. Anyway, came across this book. I'll actually grab it so I can show you. And this is me just sharing because I feel like I want to share with you. It is called Purpose, and it is by a woman of the name of Lisa Messenger, who I had never heard of until I picked up this book. She is the founder and editor-in-chief of Collective Hub, which is a magazine, and they do a lot of other forms of media for Collective Hub as well. She's also written a whole bunch of other books, which is all sharing about her own experiences and advice and life and things like that. So I'm all about that sort of thing, and it got me really inspired. So I've also sort of thought that I'm not really a fast reader either, but I almost got halfway in like one day. So I'm really excited to keep reading it and to finishing it off. And I've already started to write down a few pointers from this book that I want to personally remember as some kind of affirmation or something that I can just self-develop in the near future. So I'll share a little bit with you if you haven't seen my other videos that I've also shared, but I do have big dreams, and I have been very much in the last month been trying to pinpoint what am I here for? Like, I'm sure we all have that question. It's a pretty deep question, like what is my purpose? And actually in this book Lisa goes on to mention, I mean the book's called Purpose, but she goes on to rephrase it as in what is your why? So why are you here? You know, what is it that you're meant to do? yeah, so the big emphasis on why. Why are you here? What is your why? And that really resonated with me. Not long ago I heard of the term, why power will always override willpower. If you're willing yourself to do something, you kind of have to drag yourself along to do it. But if you come from a place of your why power, you're drawn to want to do it, and it's a different kind of energy that it's more magnetic and natural, and the other one is more of like this heavy kind of, you feel obligated, or it's just not as natural. So I hope that resonates with some of you. And in the book she goes on to basically say, like, when it comes to finding your why, when you do finally find that, it's usually something you've always known all along. So I think I found my why already, and I'm halfway through the book, because I'm a performer and I love being on stage, and I do try and connect what is it that I'm giving an audience when I do that, because I get so much out of it on a personal level. I get a lot of creativity, and I get my self-expression, I get to express myself, I get, applause, some kind of, it is a form of validation that what you're doing is good and entertaining and fun and exciting. And sometimes when you do a performance, you don't really know the impact you're giving someone in the audience. So you can have like 100 people or 200 people in the audience, and you may have impacted somebody so profoundly, but because they're a stranger, or maybe they didn't have the courage to come and find you and say thank you, it's kind of like, it's a very, I don't know what the word is, but it's almost like you just have no idea, you don't know how much of an impact you are making. You just kind of hope that someone got a message out of your performance, or you uplifted their spirits, or gave them something to take away. So I've been trying to pair my performing aspirations with something a bit more deeper. Now, I've always had a passion for wanting to help people, and I think this is why I've started doing these videos. And I'm finding it really important for myself, and I've heard a lot of other sort of entrepreneurs or aspiring people who want to put a message out there, that it's not about the followers, it's not about the money, it's not about what do you get in return. It's purely about putting yourself out there, putting an idea or putting a message out there. And if you focus on those things, amazing things can happen. And I've watched a lot of TED Talks, and I'm reading books and things like that. And a lot of this sort of stuff as well ties into the spiritual side of manifestation. So what you're putting out there and hoping to get back in return, and to manifest small and large goals. So all I know is that I am here to be seen, I am here to create, and I am here to want to help. So I feel like when it comes to my performing, that's a part of my authentic self that I feel like I have a gift or a talent, and if that talent isn't seen, then I'm just wasting my talent. Like, it's a gift that needs to be shared, and it would be selfish of me not to share it, rather than selfish of me to share it. So yeah, I mean, I feel like I want to repeat that, because I think I need that, but for myself as well, if it might help you. But I need to be seen, I need to create, and I need to, oh gosh, what was the other one? Seen, create, and that's so funny. That just came to me though, so I'll rewind that and rejig that again. And have a look back at that. I'll keep that for myself. But yeah, so I was just wanting to find a deeper version of my why. So and to help others, that was the third one. Because at the end of the day, we all need each other. Like, you can be extremely independent in your life and kind of put these barriers up around you and things like that. But that can be a very exhausting life to constantly have those barriers up all the time, and you might be subconsciously doing it. I think it's just always important to be as self-aware as you can, and connection is key. Connection is what brings us together. It helps us to grow, it helps us to develop, it helps us to be creative, and it's completely okay to collaborate, and it's completely okay to ask for help. So we need each other. We do. We need each other at the end of the day. And so it's important to stay as open-hearted in life as much as you can. Put in the work, put in the therapy, put in the time and the energy to move through those blocks, anything that might be blocking you, whether it's a belief in your mind, or some sort of heartbreak, or some sort of grief you've never dealt with properly, or that family member that you wish to forgive, or whatever it may be. Every tiny little incident, or not tiny little incident, but the big things, those pivot points in our life that either make us shut down or open up, those are what really move us along and move us to where we're meant to be. And sometimes we go off path, and there are still lessons to learn when we're off the path, and then those lessons can bounce us back onto the path we're meant to be on. I listened to a talk recently as I was driving home with my headphones in. I think it was Oprah was speaking with someone, and they were saying how where you're meant to be right now is exactly where you're meant to be. So there's always something to be learnt in any scenario that you find yourself in life. And it's important to find the lesson, and the lesson is key as well. Lessons are key to life as well. They give us meaning, they give us direction, because it's like the wind in the sails, and the lessons are the wind and you are the sail, and those lessons push you in different directions as you learn them, or as you don't learn them, and the universe throws it back at you, because you got to pass that test, or you got to pass that level. Otherwise you'll keep getting the same lesson being thrown back at you again and again until you learn. So I just thought I would turn the camera on and speak from the heart. And sometimes I feel like I jump around a little bit with where my headspace is in terms of what I'm saying, but I want to be able to speak organically. And as doing these YouTube videos, I'm sure we've all looked at people that have got a lot of followers or subscribers, and I always find it really interesting to go back to their very, very first video or few videos, and you can see how they have developed over time as they've gotten used to talking to a camera and being in a room with no one in it but the camera, and you're talking out loud. And you can see just people opening up more and more and getting more and more comfortable with themselves in expressing what they're here to do. So I just really hope those few pointers helped you out. I can link the book in the description box below, and I'm just hoping to want to spread more positivity and light in the world, as the world can never have enough bright light. I'll link the book in the description box below, and I will also put maybe a few of those videos that I listened to today that really helped me as well. So I hope you're having a beautiful day or night wherever you are, and please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up, and please feel free to comment or comment below, and we can have chats back and forth, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. Okay, thank you. I will speak to you guys soon. Bye!